I remember smoking crack rocks with his mom.
Yeah.
We all called him the Kid, but his real name was Dom. And the dominant factor in Dominic's life was the fact that his jacked up mom couldn't put down the crack pipe. He was an 11-year-old kid out on the streets way too late because there ain't no food at home and he don't want to eat toothpaste again. And he just got chased again down that dark alley by some creepy old guy. And is it okay if maybe he just stands by me while he catches his breath for a second? And by the second or third time, I ain't that much of a secular guy, but I started to believe that there really must not be a God up in that sky. Why? Because no one deserves to grow up like this. Some days he'd make it to school, other days not so much. I wish I had more to share with him than food, but at the time crack was my crutch and I was squeeging windows in the street. So of course I ain't got nothing to give him except something to eat and a safe place to crash now and then when I bounced out my cracked friends. And since one of them got all high and took my stereo apart, we'd just stay up late and play Super Mario Kart and he'd straight kick my ass daily. That kid could drive Yoshi like nobody's business. He'd be flat lapping me fastly. I'd be thinking, what is this? But sooner or later he'd fall asleep on the couch. Next morning he'd wake up, eat some French toast, and then, peace man, I'm out. I gotta go hit Screechy Corner. Crack's calling. Them dirty windows ain't washing themselves. And I'd walk that kid halfway back into his own personal hell as I fell back into mine. And in the black back of my mind, I can't forget the regret for each of the times the kid came back down to the corner only to find that Zach's off getting high, which means Dom don't get fed. And he can't even go home to sleep because yesterday he found one of his mom's friends passed out in his bed with a rig in her arm and he thought she was dead. So he rung 911, but Dom's mom had a warrant. So now Dom's mom's on the run and he's hungry and homeless. 11 years old, the cops locked the apartment and Calgary's October's a cold. And since the truth here be spoken, let the truth now be told. Dominic's a kid made up of the mixture that spilled out of the mold when God overfilled, and it chilled me to behold such injustice, killed to know that I helped fuck up his life and then fed him enough so I felt a little bit better about myself. But I tell ya, a dark part of my heart ain't had the same stamina since the day Dom came careening, tears streaming, screaming, Zach, Zach, they took away my mom in an ambulance and I don't know if she's okay. Can you help me find her, please? I'll even pay you. And then he tried to give me $6.50 in change. $6.50 in change. That's when a strange kind of pain streaked its way straight through my brain, as for the first time I realized that that 11-year-old boy knew full well that crack had Zach chained to Squeegee Corner just as bad as it had his mom, one overdose closer to the slab of the coroner. And the saddest aspect is that Dom would probably be the only one left to mourn her, because she'd just be one more dead crack whore, and her obituary would have to be written in the dark corners of bad places by Dom's untied shoelaces, as he searches for his mother out of habit because it's the only thing he's ever learned to do well. And there's certain pains that even Mario Kart can't quell. Last I heard, Dom's 17. He'll be free at 21 because some dumb kid tried to stab him, but damn, Dom had a gun and enough street sense to know that if you're forced to pull your heat in self-defense, aim below the waistline. But they still gave him 4 years for drug possession and an unregistered 9. But seriously, what'd you expect? This kid came of age in a storm. I can't find fault in a freezing man who steals firewood to stay warm. And what I'm trying to say is that in the process of surviving, some of these kids get so slick they could slip between comma and prose. This piece of poetry's first-hand proof that even children can fall like dominoes. So Dom, forgive Zach's next action. I know your past is far from a joke, but since you slipped through the cracks and all the crack that I smoked, with this half-sick sort of smile and a slap-happy sadness, I pay tribute to the beauty of this child of night and madness.